Hello and welcome to week 12 of the OTR Love TTT Time Trial Series. My name is Andy and I'll take you through the highlights show. So we've got 4 teams in League 1. So they are Peddlers, Mushrooms, Ultraviolet and Blue. So the usual, let's look at the first minute and see if they get into the paceline. We're looking at, so far OTR Blue have got 3 riders, Ultraviolet got 6, Peddlers have got 6 and Mushroom have got 4. We'll go through those in a sec. So I'm going to try and not commentate on everything, listen to some music and just enjoy all of the teams really. So they're all in the paceline as such now. They've been doing this for a while, so it's looking really good. So thanks to RGT, they've introduced a regression, which is quite interesting. So you'll notice that I try and focus on the first, third, and fifth riders where I can. Whenever you're looking at a team, for instance, so looking at, say, Mushroom, you can normally page up and page down to go from one rider to the next based on the order they are on the road. But because they've introduced this regression, you can't do that, so it skips. So for example, with Mushroom, it's on Rob at the moment, so if I press my page down key to go to Jan, it would actually go to me, and if I did a page up, it would go to Anders rather than Wayne at the time. So interesting. So 5k splits. You've got OTR Blue with 3 riders, so Peter, Roger and Gordon up front. With Ultraviolet you've got Neil, Tony, Adrian, Lutz, Roger and Jim. With Peddlers you've got Henrik, Matthias, John, Doug, Daniel and Christoph. And with Rain, with 3R Mushroom, you have now Wayne, Rob, Jan and Anders. So looking at it, it's really close. There's 1 second difference between Ultraviolet, who are currently in the lead, and OTR Blue. 1 second, so let's see how that swaps around. Now remember, Ultraviolet have 6 riders, OTR Blue have Roger, Peter and Gordon. And looking at it, they have swapped, so Blue are in the lead of Ultraviolet at this stage. So for Mushroom, Jan taking it on with Anders, Rob and Wayne. For Peddlers, Doug's out up front with John Beams, Henrik, Daniel, Christoph and Matthias. Blue, you got Peter out front with Roger then Gordon. Remember, 3 guys against 6 for OTR Blue versus OTR Ultraviolet. Interesting. Come on, Blue. So OTR Blue are 11 seconds ahead of Ultraviolet. So the key is attack that climb. They're on the downhill at the moment, but attack that climb, and you'll gain momentum. You'll gain time on your other teammates. So OTR Blue did that with Roger, Gordon, and Peter. Not taking anything away from Ultraviolet though. They've done an absolutely fantastic job throughout the whole of these 12 weeks. Same for Peddlers, same for 3R Mushroom. But looking at the leaderboard so far, you'll probably see Peddlers and Mushroom going into the final. But again, take nothing away from OTR Blue and LTR Ultraviolet. They've been fantastic these last 12 weeks. Can't wait for the next season. Pedalers, Doug taking it on with John, Matthias, Christoph, Henrik and Daniel. And I don't think Roger's fully recovered yet, so he had some operations recently. So yeah, just hope everything's okay with the team. 3 on mushroom, you got Rob up front with Anders, Wayne, Jan, and Ultraviolet. Tony's up front with Neil, Lutz, Adrian, Jim, and Roger. So blue pulling it out again, so they are increasing their lead again. I think they attacked the hill and came out in front of OTR Ultraviolet, but Ultraviolet's 23.41 and 23.22 for blue. Mushroom 22.27 and Pedalers 21.39. But also thank you to Lutz for recording OTR Ultraviolet. Thank you to Damon at ZMS for recording OTR Blue, and thank you to John for recording Pedalers. I really appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you guys at all, so thank you. So coming up to the kite, 1k mark. Adrian up front with Neil, Roger, Tony, Lutz and Jim. With OTR Blue just going through with Peter, Roger and Gordon. 3-arm mushroom with Anders, Jan, Wayne and Rob. And with Pedalers, Matthias, Henrik, John, Doug, Christoph and Daniel. Let's have a look at the last. Who's going to get there? Who's going to get there between blue and ultraviolet? We kind of know what happens with Pedalers and 3-arm mushroom nowadays anyway. It's all going to be on that final race next week. Who's going to get it? OTR Blue or OTR Ultraviolet? Adrian's been dropped with Roger. Thereabouts between 11 and 14 meters. So you've got Lutz, Neil and Tony pushing out for that line with 260 meters to go. The same for mushroom, you've got Jan, Wayne and Anders, with Rob just being dropped slightly. With blue, there's only 3, so you've got Gordon, Peter and Roger. They have to finish as a group. We had Doug just dropping and Daniel dropped earlier. So looking at that, Ultraviolet is 29.22, OTR Blue 29.13. So blue take it. So looking at that, Pedalers, then mushroom, then blue, then ultraviolet. And you got to see that switch in the 10k where blue took on that climb. Awesome. So that is the end of the series for OTR Blue and OTR Ultraviolet, as we'll see in the next clip. So for League 1, Pedalers have extended their lead to 18, 3-arm mushroom on 15, AESRT couldn't race this week, so they've stayed on 13, Ultraviolet on 9 and Blue on 5. But fantastic to see. Well done, guys. And looking at that, Pedalers were 26.54, mushroom were 27.59, so over a minute behind. Anyway, thank you for watching and for putting up with me. It's been fantastic to be there to support you guys. So bring on next season.